Hello, it's Mimsy. How are y'all? I am here today to do in the beginning basics. So this is going to cover like the very beginning. If you've never drawn anything ever before, or you think you can't draw, which I hear a lot, this is going to help you because it really breaks it down to very nanoparticles of drawing. And you will understand that you can do this. So hopefully this will be one that you come back to if you need more help on certain things, and we'll see. Another one of the little things that I like to say is if you don't learn the very basics, the very micro bits of what art is, it would be like taking a 2-year-old and giving them a college book and saying, read it. What? They're not going to know what that says. They don't know all their letters yet. They don't know how to sound things. They don't know phonics. They don't know any of that to make those big words seem, and then they have to put them in sentence. They just can't do it. But once they're old enough, not even in college, some people do that by the time they're in middle school, they're reading college-age books. Whatever it is in your brain that helps you do these things works with art, and you can learn art and it can help work the right side of your brain even more. Okay, so my beliefs on this, and these are my personal beliefs, I believe that the word kind of tells you that we are all creative because the very first part of the very first thing it says is, in the beginning, God created. So if he did that, if God created, then we can create because we're in his image. So that's my belief. And I believe that we all have capability. Also, science backs this up because we are Homo sapiens and we are part of the animal kingdom, but we are different. We create, and that is the difference between us and almost all the other animals. There are a lot of animals out there that can problem solve, like they'll make tools out of things and they problem solve how to get food out or something, but it's not the same as just creating, like being a very creative being. So that's the difference between us and them, and that is really important. So I think that we have that. It's also proven that you have two sides of your brain, and one, the left side, thinks, and I might be opposite, I don't know on the camera, but the left side thinks more analytical, I guess, more logical, analytical, and the right side is the more creative one. So you'll have more construct. And if you work both sides of the brain, which is why I believe in art, and I believe that you need to learn these things, I think it helps you. Both of the brain, each side can talk to each other, and you have better memory. There are many people that they've proven that when you read a book, if you read a book, a chapter, a story, whatever, and then you draw what you remember about that, after you have read it, it puts it on the right side as well as the left side, and you have total recall of that story then. What? So this is a great thing to do for anyone who wants to learn something and really solidify it, is drawing it afterwards. So this is my theory on why art is great and that everyone needs it. And it should be one of the basics, things that you learn in school. Infomercial! 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 Infomercial. So what we start with is what I call them. Now this is my personal, because when you look up elements of art online, it doesn't have the same thing. And I'm not saying they're wrong and I'm right or anything like that. But my belief is the very small portions are elements. So these are the online elements of art, which you can see there's a lot of them. An element is a pure substance which cannot be broken down by chemical means. It means that it can't go any further than what it is. Something very basic, like very basic.
These are some of the samples they show. We're going to even go smaller than that. I'll show you in a second.
So my elements of art are going to be different than what you'll find on the internet. When you look on the internet, they'll have 7 things, and those are all important. However, I start even smaller than that because I think if you can do just a few things, then you can really do anything. And you've seen that before, I'm sure. You've seen the charts of the chart of all the
So
elements.
this is the chart, and this is what's got all the elements on there, from oxygen and carbon and all kinds of other things like gold and everything that goes down to the very
And you'll
basics.
see that there's a lot of them, and they build, and then they make compounds, and then they keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's what we're going to kind of do. We're going to start with elements, very, very small things that I know anyone can draw. Even a 2-year-old can learn this concept. So here we go. So here's a trusty pad. I was trying to do, this is an art pad. I was trying to use my dry erase board, but boy, the shine on it is like, whoa! It's like, no, you can't see that. So hopefully you can see this. These are the elements of a design or art. And the first one is a straight line. And a straight line is just going from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time you can get there. Now, I think it's going to be reversed on there as A and B. You may not be able to see A and B, but you get the concept. That's a line. And then if you take 2 lines and you put them together, you start at a point here, go A to B and go like that. That's a straight line. And you form another straight line. That's an angled line. You see the angle? Okay. And then another type of line that still starts at point A and starts at point B, but it goes in more of a, like that, a curve, where it's a smooth line that might curve to the next line. And those can be as simple as just this part, or even this part. It doesn't have to be this whole line. It can just be tiny bits of a line that curve. And then you have something what's called a circle. Now, a circle is you start at a point, and you just kind of make it go back around to that point. It doesn't have to be a circle like we think of a circle. It can still be this kind of circle, though. But this can also be a circle. This could also be a circle. As long as it goes back to that point that it started from. That could be a circle. And then a circle filled in is a dot. So if we had a circle here and we filled it in, and it was solid colored, that's considered a dot. And that's pretty much the 5 elements. A straight line, an angled line, a curved line of some sort, a circular shape, whether it's a real circle or just a shape, and a dot, which is a circle filled in. Those are the 5 elements. If you can draw those things, you can draw anything you've ever seen, anything. Anything. And I know that seems weird because you're like, there's no way. But I'm telling you, those are the combination. You have to know the right combination. But once you learn the combinations and you learn how to see things in a different way, you can draw this. You can draw. You can draw. And let's art. Okay, so now we have our piece of paper, and I've got it also in landscape style. You could do it vertical if you wanted to instead of horizontal, but we're going to do it this way, and we're going to use what we had already gone over, which was the elements of art, or my elements of art, which is a straight line, which is from something from point A to point B, A to B, and that's just a straight line. And then using 2 lines where you go from A to B, and then you come back from B and go to C with another straight line, so it's at an angle. So this would be C, this would be B, this would be A, and it's like an H. Anyway, A, B, C. And then we discussed that you would also have a curved line, which would also be from A to B, but it would be on a curve. So this could be a curved line as long as it goes from one point to another. So that would be another A to B. And a circle would be a curved line, but it's continuing, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a circle that is what we consider a circle, but it comes back to the line that it originally started at. So if this is the starting point, it has to connect back to the starting point. And it can be any round or any kind of, not necessarily round, any kind of curvy shape could be a circle. Also a traditional circle, of course, would be like this, which would come back on itself. That's what we consider a circle also, but that is a circle. This and this is considered a circle. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a circle filled in, which is a dot. And it could be like this, or it could also be another kind of circle that was filled in. This could be considered a circle filled in, which is a dot. Okay, so now that you know those, and we practiced them more than once. We're going to do a few things with these. Just basics. This is going to be basics for everybody that needs a basic lesson. So from these things, what I call the elements, or what Mimsy's elements, Mimsy's nano elements, Mimsy's elements, we're going to form other things. So you would start with shapes, and shapes would become average shapes. Like you would do a angled line, which would be a dot to a dot. You would draw a straight line there, and then from there you would draw a straight line down from each of these, close to the same size maybe, and then you would connect it with a straight line. So really you're doing an angled line here, an angle, an angle, an angle, and that would make like a square. And you could make it elongated, which would be an angle line from a point to another point, but then a shorter side, and then a shorter side, and then the longer side connecting the two. And that'd be like a rectangle. Okay, I went over there, but you get the drift. There's angles and angles. And another one would be like a triangle. You'd start here and you'd come here and you do an angle line, and then you do another straight line connecting those. So you have some basic shapes that way. You could do octagon, which is 8-sided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, I might not make an octagon. 6, 7. Yep, there's an octagon. 8, which is angles. These are all angles. Kind of looks like a stop sign. That's what a octagon is, a stop sign. So you use angle lines a lot, and you use angle lines in combination with things. We're going to also do, let's see, we did the circle shape. You can do a rectangle up and down too. You could do it where it's a short and then it goes like this. This is actually, I think, even a parallelogram, where this is kind of at a angle like this, comes down and then goes to a straight line. So you have lots of different things that you could do with these angle lines. I want to say it's an abstract. It's just listening to me and doing, it's just following directions. And it's a simple exercise, but it comes out really cool, and you get to color it in afterwards, so that's always fun. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a straight line. So if you remember which one that was, that was from point A to point B. And I want you to do 3 straight lines that go off the paper. They can go anywhere off the paper. So here's one that's off this edge, and I'm going to make it go off that edge. And then I think I'm going to have another one coming down here and going that way. And then I think I'm going to do one right here. Okay, and this is going off the paper that way. Oops, sorry. Okay, so that's 3 straight lines. Now I want to do 2 straight lines that don't go off the paper. So I think I'm going to do one random one. Let's see, I can do it from point A to point B, whatever that would be. And then I'm going to do another one maybe right here. Okay, so that's another. So I have 2 straight lines that don't go off the paper, 3 that go off the paper. Now I want to do an angle line that goes off the paper. So I think I'm going to come in, let's see, it has to go off the paper and then go off the paper. So that's an angle line, and then I'm going to come in and do another angle line this way off the paper. Okay, so that's my 2 angle lines off the paper. And let's see, now I'm going to do a circle. Let's do a curved line. A curved line that goes off the paper. So I think I'm going to go like that. And then another curved line that goes off the paper. So I'm going to come in and go like this. Now, by no means does yours have to look like mine or look anything like mine. It can be however you want it to look. You can even close your eyes and do this. This is not one of these that you have to have your eyes open a whole lot. Then I'm going to do a circular shape. So I want to do a circular shape, and that means it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So I think I'm going to do one like in right here. That's to connect. So there's my circular shape. And then I'm going to do actually a circle shape. Let's do 2 circle shapes. This one is going to go off the paper. And I think in 3 circle shapes, one that's going to go off the paper. Okay, and then I want to do a dot. I might do a series of dots, but I think I'm going to do a dot here, which is filled in, and maybe one here that's filled in. And of course, I'm using permanent marker. I suggest use permanent marker if you're going to go back and do different colors or stuff in it. So let's do 3 dots. You can do 3 dots, any size actually. So I think I'm going to do a ginormous dot here, and I'm going to fill it in. Oh, this is to be black, so. Okay. All right. So there is my abstract. Now I can go back in and I can actually color in sections if I wanted to. Each little section that made something, because you can tell, look, here's a shape right here that was made from this straight line crossing through this angled line and also through this straight line that went off the paper. So you have all these cool shapes in here, and some of them can be negative space, positive space. I can go back and I can add some kind of detailing to this, like say I have to pick 3 shapes and I need to put vertical lines in there. So vertical lines will be up and down, horizontal ones across. So I'm going to pick this shape right here. So this shape is going to have vertical lines in it. Now, when I get down here, this actually cuts this part of the shape off, and this is actually the shape. This is about learning how to follow direction. Okay, and so up here, I can go all the way to here. I can go all the way to this curved line, even though I'm still doing vertical straight lines. And that's as far as I can go because it cuts it off right there. So that's kind of cool. And then I think I'm going to do some squiggly lines next. And I have to fill in another shape with squiggly lines. So let's see where I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to come down here and do that. So squiggly lines will just go like this. Squiggly lines are basically just kind of a curved line that just is around. I mean, it's just there. It can cross over themselves if you want them to. They can just go in one direction right next to each other, almost like a stripe. But this is going to be where I'm filling it in. I'm only going to go in this one shape right there. So there's my shape. And then the next thing I think I'm going to do is a swirl, or a, I don't know what you would call it. I guess it would be a swirl. So I think I'm going to fill in this shape in here with swirls. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do like little swirly swirls. I'm going to do some big ones. I'm going to do some small ones. You can hear my birds getting upset. Don't know why they're upset. Oh, the doves are flying around in there. It makes the macaws upset. I have 2 macaws and I have 2 doves, and the doves can kind of fly around in that room. I open up their cage and let them do that during the day. Well, it's actually night right now, but anyway, sometimes the macaws get upset. Okay, so I'm filling in this shape because this is the shape that I have, and I want all the squirrels. Okay, that's kind of neat. I like that. Different. Okay, now I think I'm going to do maybe some vertical wavy lines, or horizontal wavy lines. Horizontal would be going across like this. So I think I'm going to do those here, and they're going to kind of go wavy. So I'm going to follow the curve, follow the curve, follow the curve. I'm going to follow the curve. And I can cross over this because it's just there. So the actual edge is over here. Kind of looks like a sun, doesn't it? Curve, 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 curve. So I'm just doing my horizontal curves and finish off this edge right here. Okay. And I am going to just kind of make this a little bit thicker because I kind of went over some of the lines a little bit too much. Okay, that looks really interesting. Very different. Okay, so let's see what other kind of shape I could put in there. Hey, how about cloud shapes, like little clouds? So I'm going to do these little cloud shapes in here. In one of your, it could be in an object like this. It could be in the, now because it's here, I could actually put the clouds all the way down in here and go all the way up in here. I don't think I'm going to do that though. I think I'm going to finish off with the cloud shapes in this area and then just stop right there, because that kind of makes it look like it connects. So I think I'm going to stop there. Now you could, like I said, it could have gone all the way into here, but I think I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to go past these though. So here are my little cloud shapes. It's kind of cool. Kind of like building clouds up. Like counting sheep, kind of. In a way. Okay. That's cute. All right. And I almost feel like there needs to be another pattern in there, but I'm not going to do that because I'll probably color it. So this is something that you can color. So when you go in, remember that you can color each of these sections. You want to try to do different colors in each section that your lines cross. So it makes it really look like an abstract. And then this is awesome too, because you can do a color, different colors in each one of these stripes, or you could do the same color and skip one and have a white and then the whatever color it is and then a white and then the color it is in the stripe. That'll depend on what you want to do with your color. But this is a really cool exercise so that you can learn to fill in areas. And look, yeah, just notice this. You see this angle? This comes here. This is actually going to be where swirls would still be too. Yep. So there you go. That is one lesson. Okay, now using our shapes, we're going to draw a castle. May love, joy, and peace find you today and always. And never forget, you'll always be a part of Mimsy's heart.